Welcome to this tech tip in the series on Workplanes. In this one, I'll share how Workplanes can simplify virtual cam setups. We'll be looking at a part in a horizontal type multitasking machining center, and then we'll switch over to mills where we start with a vertical machining center and then move to a horizontal type machining center. So I'll begin by taking a fuel pump and bringing this into my Edgecam session. I'm going to change the environment to turning, and then I'm going to change the part orientation first by flipping it and then choosing the large flat to be our 0-degree position. We're working with a casting. There's already been some work to turn the back side in a previous machining operation, and I'm going to go pick up from here and move to turning. So I'll choose my machine tool, my job kit. We'll work on the main spindle. We'll put in our part stick out, select our initial datum, and then put the grip diameter for the jaws. Very fast, very straightforward. Edgecam's created the machining setup, and this looks exactly like we intend for the shop floor. Great. We would be ready to move on to create toolpath. Let's dump the file, and now we'll go look at a milling setup. So I'm going to use the same fuel pump, but now there's fixtures added to the solid for our milling setups. We'll load this into the new Edgecam session, and when I look in through the top view, we can see that the part is not oriented the way it needs to be to begin the setup that we're going to do. No problem, we'll easily change the part orientation. I'll choose the face to point up to the Z-axis. I'll choose an edge to clock into X, and then choose the center of the bore to be the datum for the initial 0 point of our machining setup. And so this is how everything needs to be laid in the machine at the go or 0-degree position. I'm going to save the part here because we're going to come back and reference this. And now I'll continue creating the sequence. Very typical process. Choose the machine, I'll choose the optional job kit, and I'll use the default initial datum and leave the automatic machining assembly in place. After selecting OK, let's look at the results. They're exactly what I expected. The part is sitting on the machine table. The top view looks down at the workpiece. The front view from the operator perspective looks good. This is what I expect. We appreciate that Edgecam's automatic setup technology is able to figure out how far below the bottom of the part the machine needs to be placed, and that if necessary, we can turn off automatic and put in our own preferences. But I didn't need to do that. Great. Well, let's dump the file rather than continue to toolpath, and let's look at it from the perspective of a horizontal machine. So I'll reload the same part and then make the sequence. I'll choose my horizontal machine tool. I'm going to skip the optional job kit for this one, but then I'll leave the second page with the default suggestions of initial datum and automatic assembly to the machine. And after pressing OK, we'll look at the results. They're not going to be what we really need. When we look in from a top view, we're looking through the spindle of the machine, and the front view looks from negative Y toward positive Y. That's all normal, and that's expected, but the part's orientation is not what we expected. While this may not be what we wanted, stay with me. I'm going to show some important concepts, and then I'm going to show how to get what we wanted. Edgecam's virtual cam setup is so fast, and it saves a lot of time for milling and turning setups. And the setup window is an important part of that. But here I'd like to move a little bit deeper into some ideas for views and workplanes that might be helpful as well. So if we start by thinking about having a group of cameras out at our shop floor and having monitors that we use to look through those, we would have a bank of cameras, and the top camera would look from the ceiling toward the floor. The front camera would look from the operator out horizontally, and we have left and right and so on. Well, now let's imagine a green room. And for sake of this discussion, we'll just have two cameras in it. We'll have the top camera in the ceiling looking to the floor and the front camera looking horizontally. And into this room, we will bring some machining centers. Now, when I go to bring a milling center into the room, let's say it's a vertical machining center, the top camera will look down the z-axis of that vertical machining center. And Edgecam's top view is related to the top work plane. It looks down the z-axis of the top work plane. The front view looks from the y negative toward the y positive, just like an operator standing in front of a vertical machining center, looking from the y-axis negative toward the y-axis positive. Well, what if we brought a horizontal machining center in? The top camera still looks ceiling to floor, and now we're looking basically down the y-axis of that machine because the machine's taken Z and tilted it. The front camera is probably looking through the machine's spindle now. And this relates to work planes. We'll get to that in a moment. Well, there are views in Edgecam, and I know that some users may know some other ways to do things, and those are all good. But what we're presenting here are some simple suggestions to help provide some uniformity across how users put together their setups. So if we think about these as cameras now, the top camera looks ceiling to floor, the front camera looks horizontally across the floor, referenced from top. Well, there's also cameras for turn. So if I'm in a turning environment, we have the turn camera that's perfect for a horizontal machining center where z-axis goes horizontally. But we also have a VTL that moves Z vertically. And then we have the axial camera that looks toward the part face. So now that we've thought about the idea of cameras, let's look at how work planes fall into play. So when we talk about work planes, when you bring in a new file, you get some work planes for free. The top, front, left, right, etc. And those all match up to the standard work planes. So my recommendation is that for users working on a new setup for a vertical machining center, your initial datum should probably be based on top, simply because that means that your top view looks ceiling to floor. But if you're in a horizontal machining center, consider having an initial datum that is the front or something similar to front, so that again, that way your top camera looks ceiling to floor. Your camera perspective is always correct. Again, I know there's other ways to do it, but this suggestion has been a lifesaver for a lot of users moving from the simple toward the more intermediate and advanced. When it comes to turning, typically the turn or a turn-based work plane is fine whether it's a horizontal or a VTL, but we also have the axial work plane, which is very helpful for face-mounted live tooling. These are all work planes we get for free. Well, when it comes to creating the virtual cam setup, what do we do with this? Keep in mind that when you bring in a solid model, you get a work plane called component datum for free for every solid body there. That's great. It's a local work plane to that solid. And if we use the setup window, we can move the part in relationship or rotate in relationship, or we can set a work coordinate system in relationship referenced from the top. So the setup window is always related to the top if it's mill or turn if it's lathe. Well, what if we're trying to do something different? We have a command called align component that's been in Edgecam for a long time. It predates the setup window, and it used to be the easiest way to do things. We'll include a couple links to some videos about this command. This is a really useful command to know, in part because this command is referenced from the active work plane, not just top or turn. So now that you know some of these inside secrets because you watched the video, let's go look at how we can use them in a real-world part. Let's show how to build this setup properly. I'm going to dump the file and then open the one that was saved with the part in the correct orientation. But I'm going to go make a work plane. So in this work plane, I'm going to make it with the same X, Y, Z directions, but a different origin. And I'm also going to take advantage of the special mating location type. The origin is going to have the Z-axis at the base of the fixture, but X, Y at the same position. We can confirm that the bottom face is Z0 in this work plane, and the round hub has a center of X0, Y0. If you look closely, you'll see a different coloring scheme used for this work plane. Right, so we see that orangish color when compared to the top, which is a default type work plane with the blue color. So the color there is significant. The top view shows us exactly what we want. The front view, exactly what we want, just reminders of the camera idea we discussed earlier. And so then let's go build the sequence. As before, we'll pick the machine tool. I'm going to skip the optional job kit. But on the second page, I'm going to do some different things. I'm going to choose the default datum as a front datum. So the machine is going to begin in the front work plane. And instead of automatic, I'm going to say, put the machine's mating location to the work plane that I just made. Put them both on top of each other. 0 offset between them. And when we look at the result, we see that the top view looks ceiling to floor. If we had a camera in our ceiling looking toward the shop floor, that's what it would see. The front view stands on the floor, looks ahead, in this case, through the machine's spindle. And the part is set up on the table exactly as we need for this setup in the 0-degree position. When we go to the sequence and edit it, we can see that here, the mating location, which is defined in the post processor, is assembled to the work plane we created at 0 offsets. There is another benefit to creating work planes at the base of our fixtures, and that is for passing CAM data to G-code verification. When I use the NC-Simul plugin, there's an input for NC-Simul 0 setup, and I'm going to choose a work plane from the CAM file, and this ensures that when the CAM data is passed to NC-Simul, there is no ambiguity about where the part lands on the CNC machine. Do you have questions on this or other topics? Please contact us to discuss. We would love to hear from you.